Hello. Okay. Just getting everything ready for the severe weather that's coming this way. Taking a look outside here. I'm actually out in the front. The view that you're seeing is from the back porch in the backyard. I'm looking outside here at the front porch, and it looks like we got some clouds gathering off to the northwest, more overcast skies. There's still a little bit more toward the south and southwest and southeast. But we got some clouds moving in from the west and northwest. Hello? 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 Just testing the sound. All right, it's 5:49 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time here in South Plainfield, New Jersey. We are currently on watch. We have a severe weather threat here. The National Weather Service issued a severe thunderstorm watch about 2 o'clock or so this afternoon, or actually 2:45 this afternoon. That severe watch is in effect until 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that includes all 21 counties in New Jersey. All 21 counties in New Jersey. We have a line of storms that are pushing through eastern Pennsylvania and moving into western New Jersey. According to the Severe Weather Watch, there were the effects of these storms could include 60 to 70 mile per hour winds, quarter size hail, and heavy downpours. Okay, everyone. This is Greg again. We're now on the back porch, kind of looking at some cirrus clouds overhead to the southeast of where we're at here in South Plainfield. Just to give you an idea, the weather today started out mainly with overcast skies. The temperature hit a low of 61 degrees at about 4:21 this morning. The temperature then went up very slowly to about 64 at about maybe 6:45, 7 o'clock. The morning cloudiness persisted pretty much until about 10:30 or so, and then the sun started to come out and the temperatures began to gradually rise. By 11:30 it was at 76 degrees. 1:30 it was at 83 degrees. 2 o'clock it was at 85, and then about 4 o'clock or so, about 4:05, it hit the high for the day of 89 degrees. So it didn't quite get to 90 degrees here, but it's still pretty warm. And I would say that the cloud cover this morning might have stunted a little bit of the growth of the temperatures. It's very humid though. It's a very humid day here. Again, I guess the morning cloudiness was indicative of that. And you can start seeing more clouds begin to move in as the front continues to approach from the west and the northwest. Again, a pretty solid line of thunderstorms. It looked a lot more impressive up in upstate New York in the early afternoon, and then within the last hour and a half, 2 hours, a line really started to get its act together in eastern Pennsylvania, and that line is beginning to move through. Again, you can see some clouds starting to develop as this front approaches. This front is really going to probably put us into a much cooler regime for the next few days, and kind of put a little bit of a damper on the Memorial Day weekend. So far this year, we've only had one 90-degree day, and that 90-degree day was actually on Sunday. We didn't quite hit it on Saturday, but Sunday we did. We hit 90 degrees for the first time this year. Today, it looked like we were going to get there, at least originally according to the forecast earlier in the week. But again, I would say due to the morning cloud cover that we had, it kind of kept things from getting up too high until probably about 11:30, 12 o'clock, the temperatures really began to pick up. Now, this could be more than likely our first widespread severe weather event this year. At least according to AccuWeather. AccuWeather was indicating that this was probably going to be the most significant weather event that we've had up to this point in the year. We've had a couple other chances for severe weather, but they've never really quite materialized. It's been pretty dry here. We haven't had a lot of rain recently, so hopefully this will bring us some beneficial rains. But usually when you get severe weather of this type, it's very fast moving, and usually only brings about maybe a quarter of an inch, a half an inch of rain, and it's not a slow, steady soaking rain that you usually kind of need to kind of ease the drought conditions that appear to be developing. I was walking through the backyard earlier this morning, and the ground has kind of gotten hard in a few spots. The grass isn't really brown yet, but it's starting to get there. So we definitely need some rain. Okay, so we continue to see this canopy of cirrus clouds kind of move in. More gray lower level clouds are beginning to push in also from the west and the northwest. There was a severe thunderstorm warning for, I believe, portions of Warren County and Hunterdon County just a little while ago. So that is probably headed in our direction. Okay, just looking at this here, the National Weather Service office here in Mount Holly has just issued a severe thunderstorm warning, and that's in effect for a number of locations, number of counties here in New Jersey, including Middlesex County, as well as several counties in southeastern and central Pennsylvania. And here we got this was a fire somewhere in town with their fire engines heading out to. But again, according to this National Weather Service bulletin, and this was issued at 5:53 p.m., so that was about 8 minutes ago. The severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Washington Crossing to northeast Philadelphia, and the line was moving east at 30 miles per hour. The big hazard with this is 60 mile per hour wind gusts. According to the report or the bulletin, the source for this information is radar indicated. So this was a thunderstorm or line of storms that they have seen on radar. So they're really basing us on the radar. Radar indication. Basically, the impacts to be expected from this, again, with 60 mile per hour winds, you probably would expect damage to roofs, siding, trees, power lines as possible. Towns and cities that are in the line of these thunderstorms include Philadelphia, Trenton, Camden, New Brunswick, Somerville, Somerset. That's Franklin Township, in case you're not aware. Franklin Township in Somerset County, outside New Brunswick. Edison, Old Bridge, Ben Salem, that's again in Pennsylvania. East Brunswick, South Brunswick, Saraville, Mount Laurel, North Brunswick, Marlborough, Manalapan, Ewing, Willingboro, Lumberton, and Princeton. So we're looking at a number of different locations in eastern Pennsylvania, southeastern Pennsylvania, Mercer County, Middlesex County, Monmouth County, Burlington County, and I believe maybe some parts of Camden County. So this severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for about the next hour or so. Again, it's in effect till 7 o'clock. And again, to repeat, Severe Thunderstorm Watch that was issued at about 2:45 p.m. This afternoon is in effect until 10 o'clock p.m. tonight. And this includes all the counties in New Jersey: Atlantic, Bergen, Burlington, Camden, Cape May, Cumberland, Essex, Gloucester, Hudson, Hunterdon, Mercer, Middlesex, Monmouth, Morris, Ocean, Passaic, Salem, Somerset, Sussex, Union, and Warner. Now, if you want more information on the actual Severe Thunderstorm Watch, we can go to the Storm Prediction Center, which issues these watches, we were pretty much under a slight risk of severe weather today. Earlier in the week, it was looking like maybe we'd have a threat that would affect, maybe the northern half of New Jersey, or part of New Jersey. Wasn't really expected to be a slight risk. It was only a marginal risk, so it was a lower risk originally. But today they increased that risk to a slight risk, and there's more of a coverage area for that slight risk. And here's basically the slight risk. Northeastern states. Nothing really here, but go back and I'll look at the Severe Thunderstorm Watch here that they have. Okay, the Severe Thunderstorm Watch covers a pretty wide area. It covers the Western Connecticut, District of Columbia, Delaware, Maryland, New Jersey, Southeast New York, Eastern Pennsylvania, Northern Virginia, Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia, and of the coastal waters that are adjacent to those areas. I guess you can say along the Jersey Shore. And again, this is effective from Wednesday afternoon at the time they issued it, which is 2:45, to about 10 o'clock p.m. Primary threats: scattered damaging wind gusts to 70 miles per hour are possible. Isolated hail events to 1 inch in diameter are possible. Obviously, there's going to be heavy downpours. So we're really looking at gusty winds. Some areas are going to get hail. We'll probably get some downpours, maybe some lightning here and there. But the big thing is going to be the wind and some possible hail with some downpours. The original bulletin that I saw in the afternoon basically said 60 to 70 mile an hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail, and heavy downpours. And then again, we might not get anything at all. But this is the time of year we got to start thinking about severe weather. A couple years ago, the day after Memorial Day, we had a very significant severe weather outbreak here in New Jersey. I know it produced at least one tornado in Stanhope. I think it produced numerous tornadoes, but that really was the start of what I believe has been the recent series of severe weather events in both summer and winter. In terms of severe weather, we also got affected by Isaias. We also got affected by another tropical storm, I think earlier in the season. I think it was Faye, if I'm not mistaken, last year. Of course, we had the snowstorm in December. We also had the snowstorm in February. We had several storms in February, probably the snowiest winter we've had in a few years. But the most notable storm was the first one, which was right at the end of January, early February. That seemed to go on for a couple days. But yeah, I think we're kind of in a severe weather cycle right now, much similar to that from about September 2010 to maybe about a week or two after Hurricane Sandy in November 2012. I think we're kind of in that type of pattern where we're going to get not your ordinary garden variety summer thunderstorms. We're going to have something with a little more teeth to it, and we're going to have some other storms that kind of push through during the fall that are going to be strong and bring in some strong winds. And then of course we'll probably have some significant snowstorms of some kind. Really the most significant snow I think that we had before that, before this year, was really the couple squalls that we had, I think in 2018, 2019, most significantly the one at the end of January 2019, which was a really impressive one. I think it was on January 30th, or it was either the 30th or the 31st. And that was a pretty significant squall. The one before that was on Thanksgiving Eve, I think, of 2018. And that was a pretty significant one as well. They were both kind of similar, although the one in January I thought might have been a little bit stronger. But that was pretty much it until this year. This year was a much different story. We had the storm in December. That was somewhat brief, but still pretty significant, pretty powerful storm. Came through it very quickly, dumped in a lot of snow, brought some wind, brought really intense snowfall rates, I would say, for a few hours there. I think it was December 15th around, and then we had, of course, this storm that from January 31st to, I would say, probably February 2nd, with the most significant snowfall on February 1st. That was probably the peak of the storm. And then last year we had some significant severe weather events, particularly in July last year. July 22nd is probably the most notable, because that produced probably the first measurable hail here in South Plainfield, at least that I can remember, since the summer of 2004. And it was almost to the day, I believe. Brought about quarter size hail, and we actually had a picture of that on our Twitter page, and also some video clips of what was happening as it was occurring. And we had both of those were shown on the CBS 2 News in New York here. And I've definitely seen the clouds starting to gather, and I'm starting to become a little bit more numerous. It's kind of slowly, gradually moving in. Winds, it's getting a little breezier out here, and it's getting a little darker. Nothing really significant happening yet in terms of lightning or thunder or winds really picking up significantly, but the winds are starting to get a little breezy out. Alright, and we just got another weather bulletin from the National Weather Service. This was just issued at 6:08 p.m. and it's good until 7:15 p.m. A severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for northeastern Hunterdon County, southeastern Morris County, northern Somerset County, and northeastern Middlesex County. This particular bulletin indicates that severe thunderstorms were located in a line extending from near Bud Lake, that's along Route 46 in Morris County, to White House Station, and that's in Hunterdon County, that's along 78. And again, the line is also moving east at 30 miles per hour. The hazard, again, the chief effect from this is 60 mile per hour wind gusts. And again, this is based upon radar imagery from that area. Again, the impacts are kind of similar to the bulletin we gave out earlier. Damage to roofs, siding, trees, and power lines is possible. Locations that are in the line of these storms, or in the way of these storms, or in the path of these storms include Perth Amboy, Morristown, Somerville, Edison, Bridgewater, Carteret, Dover, Madison, Middlesex Borough, Florham Park, East Hanover, Boundbrook, Manville, Chatham, Boonton, Wharton, Rockaway, Morris Plains, Mount Arlington, and Mendon. So South Plainfield's kind of in that group. And it does make sense because Carteret and Perth Amboy are east of here, and Somerville, Middlesex, Boundbrook, Manville, well, Manville's a little bit to the south, but and Boundbrook's also a little bit to the south. That's kind of around Franklin Township and New Brunswick. They are also to the west of here, so the storms are coming. Things are gradually moving in, And I would say within the next hour or so, we'll probably start seeing some action here on our live feed. Starting to get a little more interesting clouds. To the north of me and to the northwest of me. Again, you can't see that. But maybe to give you a little bit of an idea. I'll try to pan around the camera just for a little bit to kind of give you a little bit of an idea what's off to the northwest of us here. You can see it's a little bit more cloudy, a little more overcast, and a little darker over that way than it is this way. There's still some blue sky over to the southeast, which is what you're looking at now. That's to the southeast, and the view that you had before is to the northwest. And it looks like we got a pretty good dark cloud kind of developing here. I'm going to step out for a second. I'll be right back. Okay, everyone, I'm out in the front now. We got some clouds really starting to build over to the northwest of here, some real dark clouds. So, and I did hear a little bit of a low rumble of thunder off in the distance. So it's definitely starting to approach. It's definitely starting to move in. Things are starting to get a little more interesting, particularly to the north and west of where we're at here in South Plainfield. Again, we have a severe thunderstorm warning out for northern portion of Middlesex County until 7 o'clock. Just issued a few moments ago by the National Weather Service office in Mount Holly. Now again, we're in the front of the house now. We're going to try to shoot some video of what's going on in the front as the storm begins to move in and develops. And you guys can just sit back and watch what's happening on the live stream camera in the back, coming from the back porch. We'll be back in a little bit. Okay, everyone, I'm back out here. We just heard a rumble of thunder over to the northwest. We got a pretty good dark canopy of clouds moving in. The winds have picked up a little bit more out here from the northwest portion of our house here in South Plainfield. So we're just going to go ahead and shoot some video here in the front. And again, you can watch the severe weather as it develops on the live feed. going. It's coming back here. Outside in the front when the storm was kind of pushing in. It really was cranking. The winds really picked up. Had some tree branches come down. There was some stuff on the porch that got knocked down. It looks like the gust front portion of the storm is pushed through, and we're getting some light rain. Did see some flashes of lightning, did see some rumble of thunder, but the big impact was the winds. Pretty much what the bulletin indicated. I would kind of agree that the winds were probably about that. We're about probably 60. Did hear some cracking of some tree branches, and again, there was a tree branch out in the front, in the house across the street that came down from one of the trees up at the top. The winds still are pretty strong at this point, kind of eased a little bit compared to what they were before, but yet they're still going at a pretty good rate at this point. I couldn't give you an exact statistic on how strong the winds are, but they were probably still getting a good gust here of 30 to 40. We have the rain starting to kick in. The rain's picked up in intensity over the last several minutes. Now we got some pretty good rumbles of thunder, as you can probably hear. But I would say the most potent part of the storm has pushed through in terms of the wind. Although we are still seeing some pretty decent gusts. But it was a pretty good gust front, I would have to say, that at least what went through here moments ago.